Brandon Silence, a boxing enthusiast, punched Dean so violently he was brain dead before he hit the ground. CCTV caught the moment Brandon Silence, 25 of Bangor, launched an attack on Dean Skillin outside a hotel in Bangor, Wales on the 19th of September 2020. Initially, Dean is seen trying to act as peacemaker to defuse an altercation between his cousin and another man. The killer walked up from behind and quickly struck Dean, 20, on the side of the head, which caused him to fall to the ground. Dean's mother, Becky White, who released the footage online, told Sky News, "I felt like I needed to share it because people minimize these one-punch crimes, and I wanted to show the world. No one wants to see their son die." Initially, she had thought no one would see the video, which was used in court, and had a hard time making it public. No one wants to see the moment their son dies. Sharing the video brought it all back to me, she said, described Dean as a lovely person. He never resorted to violence, and he was so kind and thoughtful. He used to help me with his younger brother. You can clearly see by the video that the police have released, that Brandon Coward Silence punched my son from behind, she wrote online when she shared the footage. Dean couldn't even see it coming, killing him instantly because he hit him that hard and forcefully. What sort of coward hits someone from behind and leaves him on the floor, then walks away knowing the damage he had done? She added, as the judge said, he was willing to punch his own shadow that night, which resulted in my son's death, and affected our family lives forever. Dean's family are campaigning for tougher sentences for one-punch killers, calling for the offense to be treated as murder. A petition, started by the family, has been signed by more than 18,000 people. "I want longer sentences if you kill someone," she told Sky News. "They say the fist is not a weapon, but when it is those of a boxer, it is a weapon." She continued, "Why is the law protecting violent men? We need a law specifically for this, that says if you kill someone unprovoked, you should get 8 to 15 years. Silence was found guilty of manslaughter and acquitted of murder, and jailed for 10 years for the attack, which also injured Dean's cousin Taylor Locke. The boxing enthusiast punched Dean so violently he was brain dead before he hit the ground. Trevor Timon, 31, hit 30-year-old Oliver Dearlove while the victim and his friends were talking to a group of women in Blackheath, southeast London, in August 2016. Mr. Dearlove died hours after the attack, which happened after he had struck up a friendly chat with the women, who had been out celebrating a birthday with Timon. Timon demanded to know what they were discussing and told his victim, "If you don't get out of my face I will knock you out," the court heard. He then punched Mr. Dearlove in the side of the head with his left fist, sending him to the ground and knocking him out. A post-mortem examination found he died from bleeding to the brain. Timon admitted manslaughter but was cleared of murder at the Old Bailey. He was also given 5 years on extended license as he was considered a significant risk to the public. Mr. Dearlove's girlfriend Claire Wheatley broke down in tears as she described her heartbreak at losing her Mr. Right. The nurse described him as the most gentle, kind and relaxed person I have ever known and a true gentleman, which is why so many people liked him. Oliver's mother had said, "We are all familiar with the phrase a broken heart, but unless you have experienced some form of loss or sadness it is difficult to understand how this truly feels." On August 28, 2016, I was unfortunate enough to learn its true meaning. The difference is my heart is not broken, it feels more like it has been obliterated. Mr. Dearlove's mother Joy Wright told the court, "No parent should have to make the decision to switch off their child's life support. Timon may as well have used a gun or knife, the damage he did. He then just walked away casually without a thought or care for what he had done." In a letter read to court, Timon said, "There is not a single day that I don't think of Oliver, his friends, and family and the devastating effects my action has caused."
Normally, with a one punch, it's the impact of them hitting the pavement that kills them. With Robert, it was the actual punch that killed him. He was dead before he hit the ground.
Robert Holland, 36, died after being hit by former doorman and cage fighter Liam Rockley on the 28th of October 2011. Rockley and Mr. Holland had both been out drinking in separate parts of the city centre. It wasn't until Rockley saw Mr. Holland and his friends involved in what he thought was an argument that the two met. Despite being told by his friends not to get into any trouble, Rockley approached the group and punched Mr. Holland in the face. A post-mortem examination concluded that Mr. Holland died as a result of injuries sustained from a single punch to the head. Grandmother Mrs. Holland has set up an online petition to increase the sentencing for one-punch manslaughter. The 61-year-old said, "If that bloke had gone out and done armed robbery, he would have got longer. He wouldn't have even had to kill someone. If I can do something to get the sentencing changed to help other parents get some justice, then I'm prepared to do it." Mr. Holland, who lived in Bexley, married wife Olive only 18 months before he died, after meeting her in 2009. The former Westwood College student was self-employed as a lift engineer and was visiting Nottingham for business. Mrs. Holland, who also has a daughter Karen, said, "I cry every day. I'm absolutely distraught over this. My children are my life. I feel like half of my life has been taken away from me." She added, "My grandson is 10 and at Christmas he said he didn't want any presents. He just wanted Robert back. The children absolutely worshipped him." Detective Chief Inspector Kate Maynell, from Nottinghamshire Police, said, "Robert Holland's death is a stark illustration of how a single punch can have such devastating consequences.